The cost of living crisis. God, these words. I like, this has been posted through my door. It's like a local magazine, the Nailsworth News. And it had been kicking around, and I just, like, I don't watch news, the TV. I don't have a TV. I don't listen to. I listen to the radio. I check in. I hear what's happening, but I don't buy into this constant subscription to all that stuff that's being peddled through the media, because it damages this system. It's like all this endless fucking negative fear, war, nobody's got enough, lack, fucking pedophilia, abuse, racism. I mean, it's endless. It's fucking endless. Anyway, so today's, I don't need to go on about that. Everyone knows that. Today's, I just read these words, the cost of living crisis. And it's something I've just heard over and over and over again here in the UK, the cost of living, the cost of living. Where, I mean, I was just so shocked. It's like the cost of living. Like if I go, okay, so we've got all this external stuff going on. Nobody can afford what they want, everything's more expensive. Like we need to be really afraid of what's coming. I mean, haven't we actually had enough of all that with the whole scenario if we look back over the last couple of years? And that obviously hasn't people enough. So this is just another way. And I'm not in any way denying that there's these external factors that are being presented, but I really want to draw this absolute just fucking clarity between the external and the internal experience. So if I go back in years and years and years of putting on a face on the outside, so putting on the person that presents the outside character, and on the inside a completely fucking different experience was happening. And those two, this inner experience got so far removed from the external persona that everything fucking broke down. And I ended up an addict and loads of mental health problems and all that stuff. And those, as a result of that breaking, there came this growth of a more integrated way of being, where there's some lovely expressions like, you may not have everything you want, but you have everything you need. And fast forward, but there's this thing, there's this like, there's the persistence of the illusion that has been there since we grew into adults, the persistence of the illusion that the external environment is the source of our inner experience. It's absolutely the other way around. Our inner experience creates our external environment. And yet there is, so there's the external persona, if I jump back to that, external persona and internal inner experience. There's this layer between those two that is a layer of shame, a layer of not being good enough, a layer of fear, a layer of needing approval. It's all in one, and it sits there. It's the layer of a lack of resources. It's a layer of lack and shame, essentially, and powerlessness. And this is within that being that is me or was me, and is me. So there's the external, hey, I'm leaving a video. And then there was this layer that was really quite thick in places. And then there's the inner experience. That layer is just below the surface of our awareness. And so the external persona is carrying on going, being triggered by this feeling of fear. And then that feeling of fear is meeting that external stuff that's being fed from these external sources. And those meet and go overwhelm the whole being. So I have an underlying, or I had a really underlying pattern, unconscious, like not quite able to access, of fear of lack of resources, that I don't have enough, that I'm not going to have enough, that I'm going to run out, that I'm not going to make enough, you know, and that I need to, oh my God, what's going to happen if I run out? What is going to happen if I run out? And if I go back to the what's going to happen in my family if I run out of approval as a kid? What's going to happen if I run out of love from the adults around me? Fuck, it's going to be really scary. Back to the tribal stuff. What's going to happen if I run out of my position? What if I run out of food? What if I run out of resources? I'm going to die. We're all going to die. It's just patterns. It's like stuff in here. But when this external stuff that goes, the cost of living crisis, and we go, fuck, oh my God, everything's going down out there. And it triggers that unconscious pattern in us. And then that brings overwhelm. And instead of meeting our individual, unique circumstances from a place of inner calm, strength, knowing that we're the source of our experience and we're the source of our resources and the source of the feelings that I'm having, that they're not coming from out there. Instead of being able to navigate like that through our day-to-day, that unconscious layer has been triggered, and we've already reacted to that external. The methods that I can share with you from the work that I came across, that I've done, that I've shared with others, literally just enable you to identify in the day-to-day and the 24 hours now how those patterns are showing up, so that they can be cleared. And then there is the ability to navigate through each day from a different space, but not in overwhelm and not in being triggered by all that stuff. It doesn't mean that stuff isn't to some degree isn't happening out there, but it does mean that I have access to creating different external circumstances. Because I won't go into that, but if you shift your inner experience, if you shift that layer, the external around you shifts. And it's not the fucking cost of living crisis. For me, the cost of living crisis is to live not knowing that we have this access to that space. If we can just get rid of the stuff that blocks that integration, and that's the journey. That's whatever the journey is. That is the cost of living, is to be so triggered and then overwhelmed that we're lost in this external dynamic, and it's an illusion. I'm not saying that. Well, anyway, never mind what I'm saying and not saying. Yeah. That's me, morning man. I just had a fucking amazing bowl of porridge with cacao in. It's literally made my heart sing, and I'm fueled on that, full of whatever's in cacao, magnesium or something. Yes. So yeah, my love to all of you this morning.